Hi guys, Karie Millspaugh here, visibility consultant for public figures, public speakers, authors, and small business owners. And one of the biggest complaints that my clients bring to me when they first start working is, how do I get interest? How do I gain interest? How do I get engagement? How do I get attraction? How do I attract my client? All those fun things show up. We feel invisible out there on online marketing because there's so much chaos and it's hard to figure out the sweet spot to rise above the noise. So today I'm going to share with you, if you want to gain interest, you've got to be interesting. 3 ways to show off your fun side. So just a little bit about me. I did something super fun a few years ago. I chose to try a new adventure for 18 months, one new adventure a month, from river rafting to skydiving. I even jumped off the stratosphere here in Las Vegas. I rode a horse through the mountains because it was something new. I hadn't done it yet. I flew a stunt plane twice. I liked it so much. Not the best choice if you have a weak stomach or can't spin without passing out. So I don't recommend it for those people. But there was something that shifted in my energy. I, of course, shared my experiences to an extent, not as much as I would have liked to, or am going to suggest that you do in a little bit, but I noticed my energy changed. That particular year, again, it was like an 18-month long project. It was just something fun to do, just a challenge to grow as a person. My own energy expanded, my own mindset expanded. My fear base disappeared, my comfort zone got really large, and I made more money than I've ever made in those 18 months. So I highly recommend this. It really, really works. So first and foremost, kind of look at things that you want to do, or if you have a bucket list, take a look inward and how can you try something new, and just be more interesting. This also works not just for business, it works for your dating life too. If you want to gain some interest, you've got to be interesting, correct? I mean, who wants to date a boring person, right? So in business, same thing. You're courting your potential client. You're kind of pulling them inward. You want to attract them, date them for a little bit, and then ask them for marriage, which also looks like closing the deal, right? Okay, getting something on paper, a contract, whatever that looks like. So way number 1 that I want you to show off your fun side is through video stories. Take us with you. Take us with you if I've been doing a lot of golf lately. It seems to be the one thing that I can do without a mask, so to speak. We could go all day about that, but I want to keep this pretty timeless, this video. But it's something outdoors, I can do it. It's fun, it's active, I can do it with my friends. And I like to share video stories on Facebook, Instagram, and now LinkedIn has video stories as an option. Take us with you during your hobbies. Don't make all of your posts and your social media and your online marketing business only. Show us your personal side. Show us that you're interesting. I'm sure there's something fun that you do that we can relate to. Take us with you. Even on my trip to Michigan, my home state, back this past summer, I was gone for 5 weeks. There was a lot of stuff I did. I even recorded my first a visit to the bay, which I just love water. Anyone that knows me, I'm obsessed with water, beaches, anything. Get my toes in the sand and I'm a happy girl. Well, I demonstrated that part. Like, yay, I finally got my feet in Lake Michigan. Like, yes, this is the best ever in a video story. Be interesting. Even if it's something that simple. You don't have to be a skydiver, which I've done also, but you can still be interesting with just embracing. Sometimes even posting about your first morning thoughts as you reflect over life over your coffee can be interesting to the right potential person or buyer. So that's way number 1. Way number 2 is be real. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. Take us through your failures. Take us through your fears. Tell us how you overcame something. That's going to pull us in even more. Now you've really gained our interest. There's something about just showing that vulnerable side that creates people a different kind of an energy of leaning in. Like, I want to learn more. This person's real. I remember reading a post a while back of a woman that just struggled with childbirth or even getting pregnant in the first place. And as a mom, my heart went out to her. There's just a different side of her. It wasn't business all the time, business. People don't want to hear just the heavy topics. They want to relate to something human. Show us your human side. Okay, especially if you've overcome this, it's even more interesting. I'll give you a quick example of myself. Back in 2011, my boyfriend at the time wanted to go river rafting. I'm not a good swimmer. Fear of deep, dark, scary water, especially raging rapids at going, like a category 5 type whitewater rafting trip sounded super intimidating to me. So I found every excuse in the book to not go. Well, I was really angry with myself. I went back to Vegas because this was in California at the time. I went back to Vegas and I just beat myself up like, come on, Karie, that would have been so much fun to have overcome that challenge. So I got a friend that was a life coach, worked with him a little bit. He shifted my mindset. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, I was in a raft doing a category 5 half-day trip, not just a one-way, really quick, fast trek down the river. My butt was in that raft all day. So that was an experience that just showed me how much I could overcome if I had just put my mind to it instead of staying small and in that little tiny comfort zone. So that's just one example. I like to share that story because it inspires others to overcome their fears as well. Just a little shift in your thinking and how to think about the outcome versus the process and how scary that looks can change everything in your mindset. So that's way number 2. Be real, be authentic. Show us your fear. Show us what you've overcome. We will find you interesting, I promise. And way number 3, start a blog. If you're not a writer like myself, which I love to write, but I also like to do videos too, be a YouTuber. Find some platform where you can build content of interesting stories like we just mentioned. You can accumulate them in a writing format with a blog, articles, be a third-party poster on a fun platform of your choice, of course, something that's in alignment with what you do, and start building content. It's so much fun because when someone likes one article, you can always go through your library, kind of format another little link to another one or point them to another one. You are interesting. It's not one blog, it's a whole library of blogs. Same with YouTube. It's not one video, it's a whole playlist of videos. People will say, oh, she's got something to say, or he's got something to say. He's interesting. And then they see your personal side. And you're like, what? This girl's so much fun. I want to play with her, hang out with her, ask her out. I want to do a consult with her, whatever that looks like. And this goes for males and females. Be interesting, guys, if you want to gain interest. And one bonus little tip, LinkedIn is the most stuffiest platform on the planet. I use it all the time for business and speaking and so on. But the best way to be interesting on LinkedIn is to throw them a curveball, do a little pattern interrupt. Throw in some personal stuff every now and then. I would say 80-20, 80% business on LinkedIn, 20% personal. You will get a lot of response because it's so different. We're so used to seeing content and articles and heavy topics in LinkedIn that when you throw in something fun, like your cat doing some tricks or, you just practicing your swing. Lately, I've been posting golf stuff and I'm getting a ton of engagement, which is interesting. So just a little bonus tip. Those, my dear, are ways to gain interest by being interesting. It's not really that hard. Just be fun. Show us your fun side. Everybody's got one. Big hugs, big love, guys. Hope this was helpful. Mwah.